Standard 10th History. Students, today I am going to teach you all the third lesson of history. That is, the name of the lesson is Applied History. So I have to try to prepare a slideshow for you all. I'll explain you all with the help of this slides. So we'll go to the first slide. What is this chapter all about? Now, Applied History, it introduces us to the various research methods in various fields, management of cultural and natural heritage, and the affiliated professional fields. Now, what is applied history? Now, applied history is also known as public history. What exactly it is? It is a field of study which is concerned with the application of history for the benefit of the people. Means, children, that how I can apply history for the present as well as for the future times. So that is the meaning of applied history, the application of history. So knowledge of history is useful. Why? As it provides us guidance. And for what it provides us guidance? In finding solutions to social issues. Now, which are the social issues, children? Education, lack of education. Then we have poverty, climate change, environmental issue, public health, homelessness, people who don't have homes, food security, water and food security. Then there's unemployment, no jobs, high mortality rate. Mortality means the people, they die. That is high mortality rate. Then pollution, all kinds of pollution. So when we have the knowledge of history, it provides us guidance in order to get solutions for all these social issues and how we can incorporate them in social planning. Next. The projects and programs which are related to applied history can create what? Opportunities. For whom does it create opportunities? For us, for the people, so that we can participate. Along with whom? Along with the technical experts. Like for example, children, when you visit any tourist sites, a museum, an ancient site, what do you get over there? You gain the knowledge of history. So you come in contact with the technical experts. Now, tourism, it creates what? It creates interest. If you visit a tourist place, it creates interest about which subject? About the subject of history. So what can people do over here? We can volunteer to participate in conserving our environment, in the conservation as well as the preservation projects of our own city, town or village. Then people have a lot of misgivings. Now children, misgivings means what? Misconceptions. People think that why do we need to learn history? So many a times people feel that history is meant only for historians and for students who are pursuing studies, higher studies in history. But that's not true. History is required for everyone. Everyone should have the knowledge of history. Why we should have the knowledge of history? Because through history, our life becomes more meaningful. So whatever, like in the past, whatever mistakes our ancestors did, okay, through history, we learn those mistakes. And we also decide that, we do not have to repeat those mistakes in the present times as well as in the future. So that's why the knowledge of history is required for everyone. So public history, it helps us to overcome such misgivings and makes history meaningful in everyday life. And history is about what, children? All of us know. History is about the past events, whatever events have taken place in the past. And how these events, it helps in shaping our present as well as our future. So historical events, which are they? They are related to various fields. What kind of fields? Politics. Then social and religious structure of the community. Philosophy. Science and technology. So the direction of future development is totally dependent on the knowledge which is available from history. Now, next topic which we are going to do is, children, I'll just touch upon the various fields, okay, which are related to applied history. How the application of history is carried out in various fields. So the first field which we are going to learn today is philosophy. How history, applied history, is used in the subject philosophy. So what exactly is philosophy, children? History of philosophy, it helps us in understanding the origin of various ideologies. You know what is the meaning of ideology? Ideology means the opinions, the thought processes of great personalities. Like say for example the ideology of Mahatma Gandhi. What was his ideology? Satyagraha, non-violence, to always speak the truth. So these are the ideologies of great personalities. Then there are intellectual traditions which gives rise to those ideologies, and they are historical development. So we are able to learn philosophy through what? Through the knowledge of history. So that's the application of history in the field of philosophy. Okay, so in philosophy what is important, children? It is language is important in philosophy. Okay, next, the second field which we are going to do is science. Now science, it deals with what? With chronological order, discoveries, inventions, various theories. Okay, then you have the cause and effect chain in science, and it is said that need is a mother of invention. So the history of science, it helps us in understanding all these things, like how we have chronology in history, like the Stone Age man, then first were the apes, then came the Stone Age man, then the next, like this is how the evolution of man took place. Same way, history, the knowledge of history is also applied in science when we talk about the chronological order of various discoveries, inventions that had taken place. Cause and effect chain, again, if I speak about history, it is, if I give you an example, it would be World War I, World War II. What were the causes of the World War? What were the effects of the World War? Same way, history is related to science. What are the causes of the why this experiment has taken place? We observe it, we conclude it. Okay, so it is history is applicable in the field of science. The next thing which we'll touch on, scientific discoveries and inventions are often the effects of human efforts. Who carries out these inventions? Man. And why is he carrying out? Why? Because he has a need. There's a curiosity in man. That is why he carries out various inventions. Then the knowledge of history of science helps us in understanding the factors that have facilitated a scientific discovery, invention, and also its chronology. Now next, third subject which we'll do, third field. First field was philosophy, second was science. Now the third field is technology. Now history of technology, it helps us in understanding what? The changes and their causes in the field of agricultural production, commodity production, architecture, engineering. Now best example which I can give you is agricultural production. Now previously how man used to plow the field and all with the help of the animals and all, right? That was a difficult process. And now we are using modern technology. There's mechanization. We are using machines, tractors, which carries out the work. That is because of what, children? Because of the advancement which has taken place in the field of technology. Then at the same time, even if you see that crops and all, nowadays the new trend is what? To have organic food. All this organic food and all, people are having it. Why? Because of technology. Because they have invented something new. They've made use of science and technology. Now knowledge of science and technology was very important at every step, from the making of stone tools to agricultural production. So previously man used to make tools out of stone. Now are we using that? No. We are using machines. So this is how evolution has taken place. So it is necessary to know the history of technology in order to understand the development of mechanization and the mutual dependence between science and technology. Next field of study, the fourth one, industry and commerce. So the field of mutual social reactions expands with the growth of industry and trade. It promotes what? Continuous development of the network of cultural interactions. You interact with people in order to carry out industry and commerce. You interact with people of different countries, right? You get to know their culture. So it is essential to understand the history of these processes. The nature of the market and the commerce has continued to change. To understand this development, it is necessary to study the history of culture, social organization, and economic institutions. Then, fifth field, management studies. So to understand various factors involved in chain of production. Like, what is this chain of production? It includes the means of production, human resources, manpower, and its processes, how those processes takes place. It is essential to have what? The knowledge of how this system it functions. Okay, so one needs to understand what? The psychological character of the people working at various levels of production and marketing. So it's very important to know the psychology of the people. Now you have these advertisements and all on television. Okay, how they try to lure the customers, because they know what is the psychology of the people. So they try to make ads in such a way that you, looking at that ad, you'll feel like purchasing that particular commodity. So that is understanding the psychological character of an individual. So all this, it helps in management studies. In order to achieve this, understanding of the social and economic institutions that support industrial and commercial process is very important. The sixth field of study, art. Now see, when I'm talking about art, children, what does it mean? I'm talking things, art is related to what? Painting, sculpture, then you have music, poetry, dance, architecture, and social sculpture. So it's very important to understand the development of various art forms. Now, you know, India has a very vast cultural heritage, right? So there are various of art forms. If you see at the dance forms only, like when you were in 9th standard in self-development, you learned that lesson, art appreciation. In that you learned about the various dance forms in India. Every state has its own dance form. So various art forms, with the help of their style of expression, their foundation in the form of intellectual, emotional, and cultural traditions. So the key to expressions in any art form, emotional temperament of the artist, and the developmental history of the respective art form can be understood with the help of cultural history. Now the last field which we are going to do is humanities. Now what is humanities basically? So it gave rise to what? Various mythological stories. You know what are mythological stories? Stories of gods and goddesses. Like if you say the Hindu mythological stories would be the stories written in the Ramayana, Mahabharata. For Christians, the Bible stories. For the Muslims, the stories which are written in the Quran, right? So humanities, it gives rise to what? Various mythological stories about how the world originated, right? Then universal order, human life, gods and goddesses, the rituals, the traditions, and their philosophical explanation. So roots of philosophical ponderings are to be found in these mythological stories. Only historical knowledge can help us in understanding all these developmental stages. So children, today we learned what is applied history. It is public history. We learned about the various misgivings about history, and we learned about the research which can be carried out in various fields with the help of applied history. So the remaining part of the lesson, I'll do it in the next lecture. Thank you, boys.